just finished watching Masters of the Universe, and trying to give some quick thoughts, no spoilers. Um, I got just overall rating. I think I'd give it like a 7 out of 10, maybe 7.5. There was some slow parts that kind of felt like it kind of dragged. That those times it dragged on too long. But there's a good bit of action, lots of fun. The characters, I think, were done pretty well for the most part. Had issue with one, but when you think about what's going on, it's like, okay, maybe that has something to do with it. So I'm planning to see it at least one more time, possibly two. It just depends on if my daughter comes home from her summer job tomorrow. She does. We're gonna go see it tomorrow, and then I'll probably see it again on Tuesday. So I'll see it at least 3 times. And there was a lot of nods to previous incarnations of the Masters of the Universe shows, and some stuff to the original mini comics. It was like I think I really enjoyed it. Like I'll be picking up a physical copy and a digital copy when those release. Looking forward to what they do with it. Interesting how I guess I can't really say that. Actually, I'll say that at the end. I'll give a spoiler alert when I start to go into the spoilers. But it was fun. It was enjoyable. We went to an early showing about 10:30 on Friday, June 5th. So there was maybe a dozen people in there. There was a part where a lot of people in the theater got really happy, and it's like, oh, I forgot about this character. Like, just poop. Out went that character for some reason. I hadn't seen him in a while, and just went poof, and then they come back, and I was like, oh, sweet, and everyone was like, oh. But it was a fun movie. It was good. It was enjoyable. Like I said, I'm gonna see it at least one more time. We come back on Tuesday. I think Print is going to come too, so we'll both see it and then we can talk about it. I think, like I said, the actors I think did pretty well. It's just, I don't know, for 2 hours, there might have been too many characters, because there was characters that I would have liked to have seen gotten more screen time than they did. But because this is an origin story, like, they have to focus on main characters, which is kind of understandable. But like I said, 7.5 out of 10. I'll be watching it again. I'll be picking it up physically and digitally. And I think is there anything else to say before I jump into spoilers. One thing that's not spoilers: stay till after the credits. If you're gonna go see it, you need to stay till after the credits, because there's some good stuff there. Yes. All right, we'll jump into spoilers. So, oh no, really quick. Spoilery, not spoilery. Adam does not spend a bunch of time on Earth, which was one of the things that I was concerned about when watching the trailer. Why he ends up on Earth makes sense. I guess, okay, we're going into spoilers. You kind of see it in the trailers that the castle, palace, whatever is getting attacked, and they have to hide Adam and the Sword of Power so that Skeletor doesn't get it. Duh. Adam is obsessed with finding and returning home, finding the Sword of Power and returning home, which causes him a lot of trouble and friction. The stuff at the office, I think, was total, like, they were making fun of office culture and some of just the cringiness of pretty modern office culture, especially with the head of the department that Adam works for. It was just kind of like, wow, this is really over the top, and they're trying to say something but not saying anything at all, which is, I think, a problem. You can't just come out and say, this is the problem. Here we go. I like the design of the vehicles, but I like the design for most of the older vehicles. The Roton, the jet sled was pretty cool. I think fight scenes were good. They were interesting. Okay, kind of a big spoiler. Killing off characters. I'm trying to think. Okay, I won't name any names, but there's like main villains or main heroes. I don't really want to say their names. What the heck? This is a spoiler part, so this is, hopefully you've watched the movie already. This is another warning. If you haven't, go ahead and just end it. The killing of Mossman, I was like, okay, was that like a nod to the Kevin Smith series from a couple years ago that wasn't that great? As well as Adam getting stabbed again. But he doesn't die, obviously. But, so, Mossman dies. Trapjaw probably dies. I mean, it's very heavily hinted at. But they don't show it 100%. So there's a chance that he didn't die. But Mossman's gone. Mossman is fertilizer. Or mulch, I think is what they actually say in the movie. They play up the puns really well. And some of the memes, like that, at one point they have all the heroes standing around, hands on hips and just leaning back and laughing. So, it was a really fun movie. Okay, since we're in the spoilers, like the end, the first after credit scene deals with Orko, and the message for today's episode or today's movie was funny. They talk about She-Ra without naming her, and the fact that she's not there. Adam and Queen Marlena, not Adam, sorry, Duncan and Queen Marlena are talking about it. I was like, I never thought that either one of them would return. Basically, I never thought either one of them would return. Now I'm really wondering about the other one, hinting at She-Ra. Another end credit scene, they show She-Ra as She-Ra, and someone comes up and says, Force Captain Adora, and she's like, no, not anymore. And they show like Hordak, one of Hordak's palaces or mechanical towers. And then they hint at Skeletor's not really dead. Surprise, surprise. You can't really kill off the big baddie that quick. But they killed off like Goatman, or it seems like they killed off Goatman. I don't think they killed Spike-Ore. But the baddish looking character from the Dolph Lundgren movie, I'm pretty sure that they're dead. They got stabbed through the chest, so that should do it. But if you've got some time, a couple hours this weekend, next weekend, Tuesday night, or whenever you have your cheap movie night, I think it's worth it. It was fun. I was glad I was able to come and see it, because now I don't have to worry about spoilers. So that's a lot of fun. There was a little bit too much of modern language or modern vernacular. It just it didn't really fit right in a couple places, and we'll